my masculine energies. How are you? Welcome back to my channel, Masculine Empowering Oracles by me, Maglitas. I hope all of you are having a wonderful Friday so far. Well, we have arrived at the end of the week, and now we are, like most of us, ready to go into our weekend ahead. So before we do that, I wanted to come back to return to you guys to give you some inspiration, something for you to think about, something that will motivate you, that you can carry into your weekend ahead. So today we are going to talk about something, I would say, kind of specific, because this is not going to maybe identify with all of you, my masculines. Maybe just one of you actually, but a small piece of you. And today I was guided to bring up the topic about athlete. I know most of my masculine energies, most of you are very athletic. Most of you are into sports. Most of you like sports. If you are not physically into it, you like to watch it on TV, especially when they have the baseball kickoffs and all that stuff. And this is kind of almost going into that time. But that's neither here or there. The message is that for those of you that are physical at indulging in some type of athletic sport, it's something that you like to do because it's maybe something that you consider fun, but also it's something that kind of gets you more like you're feeling physically fit, or it's kind of keeping you physically fit, I should say. But what about those of you that might be unfortunately confined in a wheelchair, and you are maybe one of those that feel limited in your mind about really engaging in a sport where you can actually participate in. But just because you can't maybe participate like all the other guys by standing up and running to throw the ball in the hoop, or you can't run to compete with somebody, does that really mean that you can't participate at all? No, it doesn't mean that. Because as you look at this card, you can zoom in if you need to. Today I am working a little bit away from the camera. Some days I'm more closer to you in the camera, but today I'm a little further away because I'm doing this at in my bedroom, using this location today. But if you need to, just zoom right in. When you zoom in, you can see that this man, young man here, he is throwing the ball, or about to throw the ball into the hoop. But he's not doing so like the other guys around him that, you know, maybe is not standing up doing it. But in fact, him and other people like him, they are in wheelchairs. Now, when you really look at that, when somebody kind of look at that from a bird's eye view, or standing as a spectator, looking at these guys that are in wheelchairs, to me, that in itself is very inspiring. Why? Because they have had the attitude, or they are not letting their disability to limit them from still having fun and engaging in something that they feel will make them happy, something that will make them feel like they are staying fit and physical, but making their body move in some way or another, right? But what about for some of you that are in this situation, okay, and perhaps you are feeling somewhat envious of those that are being introduced or engaging in those type of sports with not having to worry about doing it, being, you know, sitting in a wheelchair or whatever other limitations. Maybe they may not be in a wheelchair. They may need crutches, or they might need some type of assistance, you know, and they are not really at 100% to really do something like that. So what really is the message behind it? What does this really means? Or on the flip side, some of you might not have a disability. Some of you might be fine, and you might not feel at your best because you feel that you're looking at other people. So it's almost like you are selling yourself short. You might feel that I'm not as good as the other guy here. You know, I suck, so to speak. in this area, or when it comes to this sport, I don't have what it takes. So you kind of limit yourself from going out and being sociable with other guys, and maybe you can kind of stay on the home front. Not that there's nothing wrong with being home, but again, it all starts with our mental perception of how we look at life, But when you look at these guys that are confined, their perspective is a little bit different, but at the same time, I think it's very inspiring. So we're going to go in deeper. We're going to go to the book, and we're going to go in deeper to see actually what is the challenges and what would be some of the cultivating ways in which we can kind of look at things from a different perspective, particularly those that might be dealing with some type of a disability or some type of confinement, but yet they don't limit themselves just because they are in the situation. So the challenging aspects, when you might look at how you express yourself and what you look at as your potential, the challenges will be obsession, mania, or sacrifice. This is what the book is saying here. But what is the main objective of the message here about an athlete? The main objective is being driven, competitive, teamwork, exercising, sportsmanship, training. That part will be something that perhaps you are not allowing yourself to engage in because you have a low self-esteem of yourself, because you're looking at other people and seeing maybe how good they are. So what you're doing, you're comparing yourself. But at the end of the day, it's all for fun, right? It's a game. Some games are competitive. Some games are more competitive. But does that in some kind of way block your potential and how you present yourself to other people? So we're going to look and see. So it says here, the athlete pushes himself to unlock his body's potential. Training and repetition allow him to improve his eye-hand coordination, stamina, endurance, and skills. Being an athlete is not about having a picked muscle mass or being able-bodied. The athletic spirit is in finding the personal limits of the body. The athlete uses sports to push himself. The thrill of competition and greatness inspires him to new heights. He finds his physical edge, and through timeless training, he achieves new heights. A musician utilizes the athlete's energy to pursue precision, skill, and movements to express himself. Mental athletes such as chess players push their capacity through training and study. Whenever you seek to know your limits and then go beyond them, then you are embodying the athlete spirit. When you look at your weaknesses as a challenge to overcome, you are invoking the athlete spirit. With consistency and ever-growing goals, you will unlock your potentials. So there you have it. So what is the key to unlocking your potential? Well, what it says, consistency, and what else did it say? Consistency and staying focused on your goals, whatever that may be. But regardless of whatever it may be, whether it's something physical, whether it is being an athlete, it doesn't have to be. But the moral of the story, or the moral of the message, is that once you go inside yourself, because again, I can't stress enough, once you go inside yourself to kind of see what it is you have, what talent, what skills, what is special about you, what will make you unique, what is unique about you, because we all have something unique and remarkable to celebrate for ourselves. And so with that being said, never feel limited, or to feel that you have to be stuck with just what you know or what you have. This is a big world. There's so much to experience in life, but we have to be able to allow ourselves to be open to them and broaden our horizons, all right, if that makes sense. So never feel limited, and never lock yourself into a certain type of feeling that you can't exceed, just because if you are someone that happen to have this this ability, like here, to me it shows that nothing is stopping them. Nothing is blocking or locking up their potential. They are out there on the court throwing hoops over. So for those of you that doesn't have a limitation, or in somehow, have a disability, how are you looking at life? How are you flowing? How are you being consistent with your potential? Or do you look back and look at other people express their potential while you have yours on your own, but you have to go inside yourself and know and figure out what it is that you can share and explore to the world, right? Do that make sense? So I think that, again, this is a message for someone. Like I said, this may not be something that all of you can identify with, but even whatever the situation is, whether you have a disability or not, I think at the end of it all of you understand where I'm coming from and you get this message. Because I think at this point, whether it's masculine or feminine, I think as a whole, all of us need to find our potential. Because a lot of times we are on the sidelines looking at other people's potential, looking at their uniqueness, and yet we are neglecting our own. Because as I said, we all are unique in our own way. But you won't know it if you don't allow yourself to kind of figure out what it is. Okay? And in this sense, when it comes to the athletic spirit, go out there. Make yourself known. Go out there. Have fun. Be physical. Don't ever, limit yourself to what you feel you're only limited to, because that's just an illusion of your mind. Open up your mind. Expand. The more you expand, the more things you are able to do. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. So that ends the athletic archetype type message coming in from your archetype deck. And to go along with that message, it kind of conveys the same type of attitude. And I picked this out. It says, appreciate your talents. So you see how I found this interesting to kind of correlate right along with the athletic spirit. So we're going to look at that as we wind down this connection. And what does it mean? What does it say? How can you appreciate the message about appreciating your talents? It says the body that your higher self and your guides have selected for you to inhabit in the dimension was born with a predisposition for certain skills. If your spiritual blueprint is best served by the life of a musician as opposed to that of a mathematician, then an embryo with that genetic disposition will be chosen. This card has come to you because your guides want you to acknowledge your spiritual abilities and to nurture them. That would be that potential. Nourish that potential. When someone you admire appears to be more capable in a certain field, you may feel envious. But to the envious of another's skill set is disregarding your own. And that's what I mentioned before. Your human gifts was chosen for you for a reason. They are signposts to you on your own path. Acknowledge them, cherish them, and follow them to where they lead. Share them with the world so others will recognize those same qualities in themselves. And that's just what I just finished saying, is that you go out there and share your unique talents, share your potential out to the world. Don't have it hidden. Don't keep it concealed. Why not? Don't be that person on the sidelines looking at someone else's skills, someone else's potential, or their talent. Because again, at the end of the day, we all have talents and skills that make us unique. You just got to believe and tap into it to show the world. Okay? So you're bringing what you have that is extremely unique from the inside, the internal, and now it's time for you to show the world externally by appreciating what it is that you have inside to bring it on the outside so others can see it, if that makes sense. And I hope you do. All right, fellas, I hope the message is here today and just the overall attitude that I think you can adopt. Again, if this is not something that you can quite identify with, maybe you have a friend that you might know that actually might have a disability, who's kind of been feeling depressed, kind of down about how they feel about life, because maybe they are confined and maybe, they are not able to really do the things that maybe that they did before having that disability. However this turns out for you or someone in your life, this could be the video that can really help to inspire them and motivate them going ahead. So with that being said, fellas, this ends our connection. As always, I always want you to let me know any thoughts, share your comments in the comment section. But as well, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs like button to like this video. That helps a lot. As well, subscribe. I can't express enough. Subscribe to this channel, that it will help with the algorithm of my videos and the channel itself to get out there, so that not only you but all the other masculine energies can kind of tap in to see what message there is, because it might be a message for them. And if it doesn't resonate with you today, there will be other messages upcoming in the future. Or as I always say, you can always go back to the start of my channel and look at my other videos. It might be something that maybe if it didn't resonate with you back then, it might resonate with you now. So take it as you see it, however you see it. It's all my videos is timeless. So regardless of when you pop up and look at my videos, they are all timeless, because these are in fact challenges. These are in fact archetype shadows of ourselves for you, the masculine, that you will deal with. If you haven't already, you will. If you have dealt with them, then you know it will help you along the way. As this channel purpose and aim is to inspire, to motivate, and to help you step into the warriors you were meant to be. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful Friday evening, and better yet, I hope you have an awesome weekend ahead. Until our next connection, fellas, I'm wishing you peace, love, and light. Namaste. Bye.